All right, now we're back. So I cleaned the carb really good, and then I essentially also just lubed it up some more just to make sure that the spring doesn't stick too much. I don't know if this carb might be so just gummed up from that top portion where it might need a replacement, but for now I can at least get it running. I can at least test it to see if the governor spring's at least retracting. But I think somebody messed with it though. That was my assumption with it. So the carb looks aftermarket. I mean, I know these are Chinese engines, but I don't know. It's just something seems like it was messed with a little bit. So yeah, so I just got to tighten up the nuts here. I saved everybody the expense of looking at me reinstall the carb. All right, should be good enough. Not too tight, not too loose. Let me just clean up here for a second. What I'll do is I will put some fuel in it. We'll let it run, and we'll see where it's at in the next minute or so. And then while I was waiting for it to clean up, I actually did a little modification here. It looks like the top of the portion couldn't fit, so I went ahead and just put a different handle on it right now, just temporarily. I mean, if anybody really wants to fix it, they could just get another plastic handle. But for the time being, it works perfectly fine the way it is. So it moves way better now. Now you have an actual handle to grab and actually turn. So cheap repair, cheap fix. I'm not going to expect much for this thing. So let me get you guys set up on the stand here. I'll put it over here for a second here. Let me just get it set up. One second here. Sorry. I thought the tripod is sticking for a second here. Apologize about that. I'll get my snowblower. What we'll do is I'll put a little bit of fuel into it. If it runs till it dies, it's fine. Not really worried about it. I'll put it back a little bit so we can all see. I'll see if I could grab the camera too as soon as I get it started. But what I'll do is I'll flip it around a little bit. Easier to see here. Yeah, it's missing some kind of handle. I think there's a handle piece that goes like right around here. You can see my finger, and it's missing that to hold a pull cord. So I see they made their own pull cord holder. Just fine. I can't complain about free. So. I did check the oil, so it's about half. So I'm not really worried about the oil right now. I'll pour a little bit of fuel in here. That should be enough. Alright, what I'll do is now got a little bit of fuel, check for any leaks. I do not see any leaks currently. So what we'll do is we'll start the procedure. So you have the safety key in. Without the safety key, it will not start at all. So you need the safety key. And that also turns it off when you're running it to shut it off. Or you could put it on choke, but I don't think it'll shut off with choke. So safety key needs to be there. Not a big fan of that, but that's all right. Prime it up. It says 5 to 7 times. I'll probably do about 5. That's enough. It's gonna start coming out probably the top. All right. We have it on choke, so should fire right up. I'll let it run for a few minutes, and then what I'll do is that once I confirm it's good, then shut it off. 1 pull maybe? I'll probably say 2. Oh, she's gonna go. Alright. Full choke. Big choke. So I ran it there for a few minutes there just to make sure everything's good. It looks like it's fine. There's still a little bit of fuel in it, but I'm not really too concerned about it. I'll probably run it out in the next couple of weeks anyways. But yeah, overall, seems to be fine. All it really needed was that carb to be cleaned really good. And then, of course, where the carburetor's return spring, or the actual throttle, the throttle plate on the back where the spring is, it needed to be basically loosened up and broken because of all the just ethanol buildup. I see that being the most common issue with these when they're thrown to the curb is, obviously people are not going to really mess with them. But they're not really hard to repair. I mean, the Powermores, I know that they do give a lot of crap. I know these things are this is probably like an earlier Powermore. So this was like right when they converted to Powermores, probably a decade or so ago. But very easy to repair. I haven't really run across ones that have been blown up. Even with neglect, they seem to be holding up for the most part. Obviously, everything breaks over time. But for a sad throwaway unit, I personally, even though it's 4-stroke, that's good. I like the older MTDs with the Tecumsehs. If I had to choose one, I just feel like that one's a little bit more stouter build. This thing rattles, as you can tell in the video. It was actually rattling, and I don't know why, but it just feels like there should have been maybe another bolt added here just to hold it somewhere, but there really isn't, because you could just see that the points are on there, but I have no idea why. But yeah, this looks like the build date. I just looking at it, 7 of 2015, so it's not relatively that old. So yeah, seems to have held up okay. I mean, if the person obviously put it somewhere, maybe stored it a little bit better. Not sure if these two, I've run across this, if they actually came with a bottom plate. Maybe they came with a bottom plate as well. I'm not 100% sure, but this is like the second one I've ever found that does have it like this too, where they didn't have a plate here. But I'm pretty sure it was probably open though. So yeah, nonetheless, a fun project when you have time to do it. So yeah, if you guys have any comments, concerns, tell me what you guys are working on currently. I do have upcoming projects that are coming up as I'm slowly finding stuff here and there. So stay tuned. There's going to be more interesting things, more engine stuff, and more curb finds. Let's just hope. All right, everybody stay safe and have a great day. Take it easy.